check. Hello, I'm Dave Mowitz.
And I'm Lori Bedord.
Now, normally you see Lori and myself on the machinery show out in the countryside doing shop tours, advanced technology, but today we're doing something special. First of all, if you're watching this right now, you know this is a live broadcast, a live stream. We are at Louisville, Kentucky right now at the National Farm Machinery Show and at a historic introduction by John Deere of their next advance in planter technology. Lori, this is a significant change that's going to be taking place not only with John Deere, but also in the industry itself, isn't it?
Well, it is, Dave, and we've been covering this topic for several months now. Jesse Scott and I, in our mid-February issue, are talking about the planter of the future. We talked to a number of industry experts and what they're seeing or what they predicted they'll see on the planter of the future. Everything from multi-hybrid planters to how fast the planter of the future is going to go, which has been a big topic of discussion in our discussion groups, which we've been in there talking to folks and figuring out, what we think we're going to see on the planter of the future. Because, right now, guys are only going five and a half miles per hour. That's really the most that they can push it. We're hearing that we may be able to double that, which could be really incredible. But how do you do that without sacrificing accuracy?
10 miles. How do you do that? Because seed singulation is so key to producing the highest possible yields. We know depth placement is absolutely crucial, not only with corn, but with soybeans as well. And there is that challenge of planting corn and soybeans with the same planter.
Right.
But my gosh, the advances that have occurred with planters over the years has been steady. I mean, I can remember when the Maximerge came out in '74. I was in college. Just before that, the cycle of planter. Which
I was in grade school, but not that matters.
Well, you were probably not born. We'll give you that. So from the beginning, with the finger pickup and the cycle of pneumatic, and with the advances in the white planter, where seed singulation was getting better all along the way. And 2002, we had the central commodity system. The Pro Series box came out. We also saw improvements with the pneumatic planter across the manufacturer spectrum. Your story, which is in the mid-February issue of Successful Farming, which comes out next week, it'll be in the mailboxes, covers what's going to be emerging in all planter makes and across the board, right?
Yes, we talked to everybody in the industry and just asked them, what do they think they are going to see? Obviously, guys want to carry more on board, so there are predictions out there that we're going to see smaller micronutrient tanks so that they'll be able to carry that on board. What are we going to see in the cab to be able to control that planter? For years, we've been trying to get rid of all that cab clutter, reduce those monitors. We've just got so many things going on in that cab. Are we going to see an iPad in the cab of the future? So everything is wireless and you communicate that wirelessly. How awesome would that be?
And if you're joining us right now or just have come into this live stream at agriculture.com, Lori Bedord and I, Dave Mowitz, are at Louisville at the National Farm Machinery Show, where we're having exclusive coverage of the unveiling of John Deere's latest planter technology. And by the way, here in about 10 minutes or so, Barry Nelson with John Deere will take over and introduce the principals. They'll talk about this. They'll unveil the planter that's behind us here. And then after that, we'll be taking questions online. You can post your questions for Deere product engineers, product managers. And then Lori Bedord and Jesse Scott have done extensive coverage on agriculture.com.
Yes.
And the site there is planter, oh my gosh, your story in Successful Farming is planter of the future.
Right.
Then we also
Tomorrow's planter today.
Tomorrow's planters today will be at agriculture.com as well. So there's going to be a massive coverage take place. Also, Jesse Scott, Lori, and I will be doing a number of reports after this thing is concluded, digging into what this new technology will look like. So stay tuned here or go to agriculture.com for many other features.
But the best part about this, Dave, is our viewers can chime in and ask questions.
Yes.
So if there's anything that they want to learn more about, they can definitely go to our website and ask the questions, and we'll get the answers for you and bring it back later today so that they know exactly what's going on with this planter, the features that they can expect to see, and going forward, what we can expect to see in this industry.
Well, leading up to this, we've also, for the last several weeks, had a discussion group going about this planter and what's going to take place, and it's been interesting, some of the postings that were there. One I remember is said, is the finger pickup dead or not?
Yeah.
Do you want to weigh in on that? I mean, is this
Well-
planter or the planter advances that we're seeing from other manufacturers, and there have been a lot of them in the last year, is that the death of the finger pickup?
Well, it remains to be seen. I mean,
Very
Where-
popular planter.
it is a very popular planter. You know, where are we going to go with that? I mean, what have you seen in the industry, Dave, and where do you think it's going to head?
Wow. Well, the finger pickup and the pneumatic planter ruled supreme. Certainly with corn, the finger pickup was the leading way of being able to plant corn because of the singulation that it offered. You know, the incremental improvements, and I think it's all about accuracy first and foremost,
Yes.
and then speed.
Yes.
So you mentioned before, the potential here, or the promise here, is 10 miles an hour.
10 miles an hour, but how do you do that accurately? Obviously, there's going to have to be something in there in
Yeah.
that delivery system that's going to have to change.
That was one of the speculations on the forums,
Yes, it was.
the seed tube.
Yes.
And there'd almost have to, the seed tube has been really the Achilles heel of the planters for the last maybe 10 to 20 years.
Mhm.
I mean, we've been able to make incremental improvements in the metering to be able to get that seed singulated. But it's that seed ricochet and bounce down that tube.
Yeah. Well, and
is
it's
limited.
dropping it from a fair height.
Yeah.
You know, so do we need to reduce that height from where it's coming out of that seed tube into the trench? So, you know, are we going to see a change there as well? Are we going to see that distance shortened?
Well, exactly. Do you think they might go with that French planter design? Remember the monosymbol design puts the meter way down in there? Of course, it's in the dust and everything. How do you do that with a pneumatic planter? Well, there's a lot of excitement that's going to be coming out here.
Yes.
And again, if you're joining, we're at the exclusive unveiling of John Deere's latest planter technology here at Louisville, Kentucky. Lori Bedard and I have been we are covering this as it takes place. Here shortly, Barry Nelson with John Deere will be taking over, and they'll start the announcement, and they unveil the planter, which is behind us right here. And today we'll be providing extensive coverage here at agriculture.com, and also tell your friends and neighbors to go to
agriculture.com, and they can check out the discussion groups. We've got a place in there where you can post questions once John Deere reveals the new planter. Anything that you want to know about the features, we'll be following up with the product managers to get your questions answered. So be sure to come back, check often, just to see what's going on with this revolutionary new planter.
And what you're going to see here when they unveil it is they will lift the curtain and the new planter will be behind that. You can also go to johndeerereveal.com.
Yes.
And this live stream is there as well. Also, a lot of details will be taking place at that time. And then, like Lori mentioned, we'll be providing extensive coverage. And Jesse Scott and Lori Bedard both produced an exclusive story in Successful Farming magazine about the planter of the future that's hitting your mailboxes next week.
Yes.
And then next Thursday on the Machinery Show, Jesse Scott provides a special report on planter technology that'll be at 8 o'clock Central on Thursday
on
evening.
RFD
They want to be
TV.
there. Anyway, part of what we're looking at and a lot of the buzz around this is that of the promise of speed. And from what you've seen, Lori, and your coverage of advanced technologies with the magazine, do you think that is an obtainable speed? Is 10 miles an hour barrier going to be broken? Actually, it's a 5 mile an hour barrier
It's the
we want
5
to break.
mile an hour barrier that they want to break, and I think it will be. But I think the key is going to be how they deliver that seed through the seed meter and down, whether it be a seed tube or another type of delivery system, to be able to make that still be accurate. And that, as you said earlier, that's the key here, is to make sure that that seed is not bouncing all
Right.
over the place. Getting it down to that trench is quickly, but yet
Right.
making sure that it's being guided the whole way through that process.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's what we're going to see here momentarily, don't you?
Yes, I think so.
Because one of the things that we've known for years, since Emerson Nofsinger way back in the 1970s did the original agronomic work that showed that the standard deviation and spacing could affect yields from 5 to 7 bushels an acre. And now it's climbed to 10 to 15 bushels an acre. I mean, the cost to farmers from a deviation of seed spacing and depth placement is massively huge, isn't it, Lori?
It is. And you know, when that equates into bushels, guys are really paying attention.
Right.
They want to make sure that they're taking advantage of that seed, especially the way seed prices have gone. I mean, it used to be a bag of seed was $50, and now we're talking $250, $300. So we just need to make sure that we're delivering that
Oh,
seed.
yeah, 300 bushels. We have to, not, and that's true of soybean seed too. Well, the all-seed planter, like we talked about, has been a dream for many years. Also, the planter that can run in all conditions.
Yes.
I call it from full till to, from zero till all the way to full till or dream till.
Yeah.
And that's tough, isn't it? Because it's tough to build a planter to do that.
It is tough.
But you're hearing that that's what these guys are going to be doing?
We've heard that this is going to be a machine that's going to be able to handle all conditions. So especially now, we know it just seems like that planting window is decreasing more and more. So they've got to take advantage, whether it's a good condition. I mean, obviously they don't want to plant in bad conditions, but if they're able to get into varying conditions and not have to wait and plant it in the most optimal situation that they can, that's ideal. So we definitely are hearing that there's something about this planter that's going to give them the ability to do that.
Hey, if you're joining us right now, Lori Bedord and I, Dave Moetz, are speaking here in front of an exclusive live streaming event at agriculture.com, the exclusive unveiling of John Deere's new planter technology, which will be taking place here shortly. Barry Nelson with John Deere will kick off the unveiling, and literally it'll be an unveiling. Lori,
yes, it will.
Is that what the curtain behind us is all about?
It is, and we're gathering quite a crowd here, so I think the suspense is building and people are getting anxious to see what's behind that curtain.
Well, it's going to be a big deal. And by the way, the neat thing about this is that you stay here, you get to see this as well as everybody else in the industry at the same time, right here live at agriculture.com. Plus, stay at agriculture.com for extended coverage. We'll be posting video reports from here on the engineering that went into this, insight into the advanced technologies.
Yes,
Lori
we'll be talking
doing.
about the technology and what's going to be going into this planter, as well as other stories that we've covered. Everything on planters that you could possibly need to know, it will be at agriculture.com.
Well, not only that, you can post your questions here after the reveal is done. And Deere engineers and product managers for this planter will answer those questions. And the way that will work is that we will take those questions off the website, and then we'll ask them, the respective people, and then we'll be posting those videos at johndeerereveal.com this afternoon.
Yes.
So you can get those answers. I mean, be pointed in your questions. Ask exactly what this is going to be. And we haven't seen it. I have to tell you, I'm as excited as everybody else here to see this, because I've seen what happened in 2002 when they had the CCS reveal, the Pro Series, Direct Drive. I've seen other introductions from other companies over all the years, and the way that it's ratcheted up. There's just been buzz about this planter for a long time.
There has been buzz about this planter, and that's been the fun part about this, is we'll be out in the field, and we've heard from farmers that, they're calling this planter the Talladega planter.
Oh.
So,
you mean like a race car?
Like a race car. So we'll see. That only leads us to believe that speed definitely is part of this factor.
Well, you had a farmer call you that went and looked the patent up on
yes,
this.
I did.
And he was trying to get information from you.
He was. He wanted to learn how they were going to be able to obtain higher speeds. So he was definitely interested in how they were going to make that happen. So very curious farmer.
Well, now we're going to take a break here. Not a break. We're going to turn the attention over to Barry Nelson at John Deere. As a reminder, you can tell your neighbors if they want to join in, they go to johndeerereveal.com or stay right here for the reveal.
Yes.
So at this time, Lori Bedord and I, Dave Moetz, are going to pass it over to Barry Nelson with John Deere for the exclusive unveiling of the latest technology of John Deere.
Testing 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about ready to have our big moment here with the new planter. I'm Barry Nelson from John Deere. I'm the manager of media relations. And we're going to wait just a bit because we actually have a live audience that is watching this on the internet. And we told them 9 o'clock. So we're waiting for 9 o'clock, which I think, what time is it? If I'm synchronized, we're real close, aren't we? 3 minutes. So welcome, everybody. This is a momentous occasion for John Deere. We are honestly introducing a revolutionary new product. And in just a minute, we're going to have Bob Timmons come up. Bob is our Director of Marketing for the U.S. and Canada. So he's going to make a few comments. and then we will do the official unveiling. Thank you very much. Do you have an accurate watch? Do you have an accurate watch? Or I'll check my cell phone. 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, when it hits 9, we'll go. All right. Okay, I heard a little chime or something there. That must be 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So at this time, we welcome everybody here to see the unveiling of the new planter. And anybody that's watching on a computer or an iPad, we will also welcome you here too. At this time, I want to introduce to you Bob Timmons, who is our Director of Marketing for John Deere for the U.S. and Canada.
Thanks, Barry, and good morning, everyone. And we're just, as Barry said, I'm Bob Timmons, Director of Marketing for U.S. and Canada for John Deere, and we are so excited to have you join us this morning. This is great to see a good crowd, and we're really looking forward to having you help us to unveil a revolutionary new planter for John Deere, the ExactEmerge. Now, I've been with John Deere for about 35 years, and in my career, this is one of those special occasions. And in fact, in John Deere's 177-year history, this is a special occasion where we have a chance to bring to market a true game changer. It will increase planting performance for growers in North America. We're introducing the John Deere ExactEmerge, a planter that will deliver exceptional seed spacing at speeds up to 10 miles per hour. We're able to accomplish this with a new patented seed delivery system that not only selects seeds at the meter, but then it delivers those seeds precisely with no roll, no bounce, into the bottom of the seed trench. Compared to traditional seed tube technology, you know, there was a speed limit, wasn't there, for good seed spacing, and that was around 5 miles per hour. With ExactEmerge, we're able to deliver precise seed spacing to that seed trench at almost double the old speed limit. That's true productivity. And the end result is that growers planting corn and high-rate soybeans will see this exceptional seed spacing at those higher planting speeds. Now, as you can imagine, it takes a lot of time and effort and energy to roll out a new product. And this is no exception. There's been a lot of energy, capital, research, development, testing. And I'd like to take a couple minutes and just have a couple call outs. One, I'd like to thank our engineering team for all the work that they've done to make this new product possible. Just a great job. I'd also like to thank our manufacturing and factory teams. They've done a super job to put the processes together to enable us to build this planter. I'd also like to thank all those folks from John Deere who have really worked hard behind the scenes to make this planter reveal possible this morning. And lastly, I'd like to thank our John Deere dealers. They're our true partners as we deliver products and services and value to all of our customers. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the revolutionary new John Deere 1775 NT ExactEmerge planter. Thank you. You know, this planter unveil also reveals a theme that we're going to have. This theme, as you can see it, is accurate at 10 miles per hour exactly. This is reality. This is just not some concept that we're working on. This is reality. As I mentioned before, we're going to be able to deliver seed spacing, exceptional seed spacing at higher planting speeds. And this is a true benefit for our growers who really have to work within a narrow and tight planting window in order to optimize their yields in their fields. This is true productivity. The ExactEmerge, quite frankly, will cover more acres in less time. And without a doubt, it is the most productive planter that we have ever built. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of questions. We're going to have 4 classroom sessions today, and you can check at our counter in our main display booth to get the exact location of that classroom and the times of those class schedules. In addition to that, we'll have product specialists that will be around the planter throughout the duration of the show, and they're very eager to talk to you about this new planter and the new features that we have in this planter. And finally, I just want to thank you for all joining us together to see this new planter, and we're looking forward to talking with you about it and talking with you about all the new products that we have on our display. Thank you very much.
ExactEmerge. Well, that's exciting, and it's going to be something else to see what else is revealed here in the next moments. I wanted to remind you that this live stream is also taking place at johndeerereveal.com. You can tell your friends and neighbors about that. More importantly right now, however, you can post your questions to your engineers and your product managers, your inquiries about this planter, and they'll be answering those questions this afternoon here at this same website. So you can stay tuned to come back this afternoon when we have those questions posted. The responses will appear not only later today, but all tomorrow on Machinery Talk, so you go back to the Machinery Talk forum. And also remember, this is being carried also on johndeerereveal.com. Also, you can go to the extensive coverage that we are providing online of this planter, both from the interviews that Jesse Scott, Lori Bedard, and I are going to be conducting in the next few moments, the next hour or so here from the site, but also Jesse and Lori's Planter of the Future story will be posted there, as well as even some historical background about John Deere planters. That will be at agriculture.com at tomorrow's Planter Today, if you want to reference that for more details. And also go to the machinery discussion groups at agriculture.com, because there you can ask questions of Lori and Jesse and myself to get our feedback on what we think about that. We're going to be touching in with that later this afternoon, and we'll answer your questions as well. So make sure you stay here, post your questions for Deere people or for us as well. Remember, you can go to johndeerereveal.com to get that information, and also get our extensive coverage of this planter introduction, as well as other major manufacturer planter introductions at tomorrow's Planter Today at agriculture.com. Stay tuned. We'll be having more information coming to you as the day progresses and more information revealed about this planter. Thank you.